You hear about Joel and Ethan Coen, or the brothers who directed the Matrix movies. I always imagined that one was really the director, and the other was like a co-writer.
I've worked with two directors before, and I think usually the case is that one takes care of one aspect of the production and one takes care of another aspect of the production. That's just kind of the natural thing that happens. They go towards their strengths. And I could probably start to discern different strengths between the two, but they really switch between each other.
They're both the director. And it can be really confusing because, I remember my first day, one of them came up to me and said, I loved it when you kind of touched your ear, and because I have this, he's like, that was great. And then the other one comes up to me and goes, don't touch your ear, I didn't like that.
I think sometimes if you've just got one director, because you're discussing quite challenging things and, and collaborating on a creative level, sometimes you can be, you want to be sensitive around the director and their ideas, but because there's two of them, you can be quite hard because you knew the other one would look after him.
Directors, they can't help it. They make you feel like there's a right way and a wrong way, and their way is the right way. But when you're being directed by two people, you realize there is no right and wrong way, there's just preference.
A lot of the images really jumped out at me. It was so layered, and things like the vampire teenagers sitting at the bus stop. They still look 6 or 8, but they're there smoking and reading the newspaper.
This is Ethan Hawke's entrance into the movie here. It's a visual effects shot, so it's probably going to take a while.
Mick, go back to one.
I think horror movies, they supply a level of escapism that some films don't. And they've got limitless potential. If you create an imaginary world, you can go anywhere you like.
Aside from the vampire makeups, there's a character called Elvis, played by Willem Dafoe. He used to be a vampire. He was severely burnt, so we did burns all over his neck and going over to his face and covering his forehead, and all up his arms as well. That was handled every day by Samantha Liddle. That was about an 1.5 to 2 hour application every day. It was a real challenge in makeup to do because everyone was saying they didn't want it to look too, Fred Krueger-ish. They want it to be subtle. It's Willem Dafoe, so it's got to look like Willem Dafoe. We can't, hide his face with rubber. If you want to believe this character is in a lot of pain, you can see it. But if you want to forget about it, it's subtle enough that you just look through it.
The first design of Willem's gun was this beautifully engineered multi-fire crossbow that was so clever in its design, yet it was also huge. It was like the size of a cannon. And we were literally a day out from shooting Willem's first scene, and this kind of wash of panic hit us where we thought, we're gonna have to shoot this thing tomorrow. So we literally got out the grinder and started chopping this thing apart.
Yeah, I think we should stick the wheel on the back.
The shotgun crossbow that you actually see in the film was something that was designed and finished the night before we started shooting with it.
I guess one thing about horror is the events are so extreme that the language of it can be very flexible and you can really play with it. So there can be a lot of invention without worrying so much about self-conscious artiness.